Okay, hi guys. Today we're going to do a painting of a bridge over water. You've probably seen in the thumbnail what it looks like, and that's the actual photograph itself. Just to show you that I did originally have it as a view under a bridge, which was really lovely, but because of the very solid black, probably more suitable for acrylic or oil painting. So to do watercolour, I think it was just better to zoom in, so that's what I've done. A quick sketch will happen and then the painting after that. So download the material from my website. You'll see details below this video. Anyway, let's get started. Now guys, here's a sketch that I have done without recording. The other one was the one I recorded and then proceeded to paint without filming. Technically I am a mess at the moment. These are not working out too well for me. But this particular sketch, similar, very similar to the one I have just completed, and probably a little bit better because it shows more sky. Right.
I'm an expert at overthinking things that I shouldn't. You come across as a cool guy, someone who's
So I'll just take off some of this darker pencil mark just to lighten it up. At the back especially. I have to decide, as I do this, I'm deciding which parts I will leave white before I start. I can paint it, I can put the water all over it at the moment, so I'll spritz it with a bit of water. I'll get a little bit of blue just for the top edge. Run that down to nothing. Down here I want nothing. And then I'm going to build up some water across the front here. A little bit of shadow, or dark tone basically. so pale at the moment that this will appear white later on anyway. Now, for the buildings, I'm going to start with quite as neutral, not too warm, not too cool, a brown as I can get. So I'm just going to start by, you can see how some of the pencil marks are beginning to make themselves seen. Purple, just to make it pretty down the back here. Adding a lot of water on the brush as I go. Purpley brown colour. Then we'll go even paler still, but pale blue. And then blend that across. Happy with that. This side here I'm going to slightly go browner because it's on the sunny side of the road. Just flesh tone maybe, if I can get that. Touch of yellow. Yep. This one here coming out a bit darker still. Dark blue, dark brown for the wall. We'll start on the wall. I've got no water in the middle part of this except for what I sprayed, by the way. So I'm going to go for getting darker and darker towards the edge here. That's basically the wall. And the same in there. Right. Put a little bit of green on my brush, mix it in, because the greens, the floor, the ground is the pretty part. I mean the ground, I keep calling it the ground. The water here. Just the basic underlay of the river canal. Right. And while that's wet, I'm going to touch in some of the brown to show that it's coming down from up the top to orange. Might end up going stronger than that even. This side. Brown there. Okay. I'll dry that off. I have a nice little brush here by Escoda, and it's a size, they call it a size 14 aquarelle, I think it is. It's one of the Joseph Zbukvik's set. Some of these roofs are red, and even though they're a long way back, I'm going to just pop them in like that. Just a bit of detail. The facade of this one is a little bit redder than I had it. I had a purple, but I'll just put that in. Just a little bit of detail there. Run it across. Now, thinking. I need to start putting in some stronger colours, and that might include this burnt umber, a brown up here. But I'm just going to add a blue to it as I go. Blue under there, the awning, under the awning. I don't want to get too detailed. So I wet my brush, washed it out a little bit. I might come back over that and darken it quite a bit more. Put in some dark under here. Oh yeah, I've got, oh no, I'm not sure. This one I haven't got cars on this side. I've got this little gentleman sitting here. Now what are the things to do? I'm going to go very dark bridge. I want it light behind the bridge. There are some buildings here that are in shadow, so I want to sort of define those as being in shadow, so I just overall blue them up. I might start with choosing a brown. They're all various shades of brown, so it's a little bit difficult. So I'll just put the colour down where I know there's shade. Ignore the tree branches. Bit of purple on my brush, just for something different. If I'm going to be doing lots of brown, I need to make it not just plain brown all the time. And this brush might be becoming a little bit hard for me to manage. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of interest in that side there for absolutely no reason, except to make it different to the one that's at front. Yeah, just make it look like there's a, I think there is a awning sticking out. Oh no, it's too much detail, sorry. I've got to leave it very loose. I've got to keep remembering that. And for that reason, I'm just going to join some of these dots. Sometimes you do end up with you have a bit of fun if you put a diagonal light through. The same at the back here. I'll mix up a purple with a brown. Across the buildings like that. Okay, might have just had a bit of a glitch, you guys, and I've missed part of this painting. So that's the boring bit where I just put in those dark details of the bridge. You haven't missed much. Got red on my brush deliberately, but I think I'll change it to a green coloured black here. Just doing some fun stuff. Probably work on that a bit later. Same on this side. Very keen to get the darkest darks in as quickly as I can. I kind of need a bigger brush, but oh, I know which one I'll use, this one. This baby. It's a wedge. It's more of an acrylic brush, but gee, it's fun because you have so much control. Now that's got to go like that. It's got to go like that. That's got to go like that. Oop. Trying to keep a sharp edge there, so dry brush. Just for the fun of that. That has a lot of green coming down into the water. And then of course there's a nice black edge. I'll do the water later, I won't do it now. Just be something. Check to see what my colours are doing here. Let's get a brownie black and bring that down. A little bit of water either side. Now we're going to go for a shadow, which I'll always like to do the shadows in purple as a shout out to the Impressionists. Thank you for introducing that to the world and to us. Shadow under him. Not that it's really of any importance there, that it's kind of cars that I'm going to be indicating a little bit later on. Now these cars are kind of like that. Just a dark tone. That look like a car? Anyway, let's go back to some of these thinner brushes that I've got, see if I can do something with the bikes. Too fat. With watercolour, it's not until you start using certain brushes that you realise that you've got a problem. Okay. God, there's so many Tour de France paintings, you think I'd know how to do bikes. Anyway. I'll just put in a little bit of detail for these cars, so that we know for sure that's what they are. The alternative to any other transport. Now, a couple of thin lines across here, because I can. Railing. And some people standing on. I'm going to zoom right in so I can see what type of people I have, like this. And I'd say they're British tourists. That's my guess. Backpacks and all that sort of stuff, so taking photos there on the bridge. One guy's got his arm up. Yep, I'll just try and put a bit of body language in there to make it interesting. And the people are riding bikes over the bridge. Unfortunately it's 2 and 2, so I might just do a single rider, because often they are on their own, they're going to work. It's not a social thing for the Dutch as much as it is for everyone else. It's just a mode of transport. Okay, so there's railings coming down. Bit of fun with those. Now, put some detail in here. Oh yeah, there's the gentleman sitting down on this side. I should use a slightly thicker brush. I might put him in a blue jacket. I don't know if it's going to show up. brown face, red face. Same as these people, red's the face. Blue's the preferred outfit colour, and especially for me because I'm doing the whole thing in blue and brown. This guy's got blue on as well. How boring. Okay, I'll make him green. Just adding a bit of yellow. Now these buildings at the back need to have some fun, have some detail in them. I'll make it a bluey grey and I'll just add a little bit of detail. I imagine the paper's still a touch damp, but now just every now and then I'll add the detail. I won't try and do it all across everywhere. Preferably on the shady side. And all it's doing is reinforcing these blurred colours that I've put in, holding them together a touch. Just where there's some shadows happening. Up here. Plumbing, electrical wires, always fun. Oh, that's right, I was going to put the odd little chimney. There's a blob of water there. I'll add a chimney to it. They don't seem to have shutters as much as the French do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're the internal shutters or something like that. Oh, I've got to come down over this because I put that shadow across there. I don't know if the camera was rolling for that shadow. I think I might have just, that might have been when it cut out. I just wanted to make sure that the shadow was being overridden by details, as if it didn't matter. I might put in a second line there. It's beginning to become a bit samey. I want to do something to make it different. So this poor old man sitting there looking a bit still too wet to do anything with. Okay, so over this side I might just make this front car a bit blue. Bit of a bright blue colour running through. Oh, it's bright blue on my palette, but it's certainly grey there. Okay, let's go for a tree. Oh, I've got a spot there. Aren't I lucky that didn't come up? I'm going to go for a tree. I'm going to put black and burnt sienna together. And I'll come down where I've got the pencil mark there. Whoop. Come on, Shirley. I don't know if this is the right brush to do this one with. Maybe I would have been better off with a mop. But that's it, I do want a sharp edge for a tree. Of course it goes in behind the bikes. And the bikes have shadows under them, which are not really obvious because we're too low down. So I think that's good enough, that tree there. There's supposed to be a tree on this side, which in this particular drawing I didn't put it in, but I think, not sure. Okay, let's get bluey grey for this tree trunk behind here. Because it's further away, it doesn't have to be as detailed. I mean, it's detailed but dark, vague. What I like to do sometimes is to have it grey at the top and then bring it down dark at the base. Have it run behind there. Bridge. I'll just bleed that back up. Okay. Now with a bit of water on my brush, pull it back up. I don't want a ridge where it's suddenly different. Okay, getting that sort of Netherlands feel about the, I think I'll just touch that out. Yeah. Some of these black marks don't need to be as black. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay. I might have a bit of fun on the waterway now, and that's going to be, the photograph has it as a dull green. Yellow and black makes the best green. So I'll mix up a big swatch of green here, just see how I can make it play. I want to run it up into the wall so that it doesn't, there's no edge. I might add an edge later with white and meniscus. Okay. So black, yellow, touch of the green that I've got in the pan. Do the same on this side. Run it up into the wall so the wall is the same tone. And then just dry brush or streak it across. There's lots of marks, there's lots of white areas. That's where the trees are, it's a little bit darker. Okay. I'll mix some blue, strong blue, in with the neutral tint, and strong blue might be a good one, because I do want to darken this out in the same way. Yes, nice. Okay. Same on this side. Get rid of that edge. Okay, take it right through there. And we've got this tree here. Just give that a bit of a hint. Okay. Now I need to drop down some reflections from the back there very carefully. Sort of a pinky colour. Possibly too strong, so I've done 2 strokes there. Now I'll wash my brush and I'm just going to bleed those out. There is a reflection across here that this obviously there's a shadow from this bridge, and I'll put that in a bit later, I think. I might end up coming across with white over this ground. So just to make it interesting, I'm going to go for a tiny bit of very pale green against that other green. Like, in other words, a little bit of yellow. And on top of that, you might say, stop, I want to put in some blues. Sometimes a blue over the top of the other paint's enough, it's pushing it out. It's quite nice. Yep, okay. One thing I can do here, at the front especially, is just a little bit of water and see what happens. And a nice brush. Should I pull down? If I pull down, it'll make it look a lot smoother. It's a bit hard to know. pull down in the middle. Obviously I like the idea of the pull down. Wet the brush a bit. See, some paints do stain. I wonder what that one is. Sometimes they'll lift up, other times they won't. Looking like a lion sitting there, that guy. Don't know that I'll be able to work on him. Just a blob in the photograph. I'll just fix his legs. That works. And then of course he's got the cars behind him, so that's going to be a hint of a car, just a car wheel. Maybe I'll just blur it in together. When in doubt, wipe it out. I'm going to put some more darkness over here. It's not actually anything, it's just dark colour behind those bikes. And there's those. A bit more detail at the top. I've got to be careful here that I don't go fussy. Run down some purple. It might be still wet, but I'm just going to run a few lines across. Like that. Change to a plain brush, relatively clean water. Just mess it around a bit. And then blur it. That'll do. Problem with this purple across the back there. I'm going to have to fix that because it's bugging me. That's better. Straight line. Now this one here needs to be darker, but I don't know if I'll worry about that now. I'll add some leaves to this tree. I like to have them hanging out in the middle of nowhere as if the gravity is an issue. Is not an issue. I'll put some darker leaves on this side. Okay, green and purple together. That's certainly going to work. Going for the white as well. A little bit of opaqueness there. Leaves are something you can practice doing yourself and get your own style. Everyone has a different way of doing them. Some people like to feather them with a fan brush. I like to make them as solid lumps. Okay, I'm beginning to think I should stop soon because I'm not going to make it better, I'm only going to start making it worse. And sometimes, well, all the time, less is more for me, my style. Just go lighter and bluer on that one. I'm going to make one of the cars red, that one, behind him. Oh, that's him. Okay. Not really, there's a red car there. Okay, the white's going to come into play here, but I also think I might need to be a little bit more definite about the shades over on the left side. I know I just put some colour down there. Let's see if I can play with that, if it's not too dry yet. Put the dark colours in there. Just go for a couple of long lines. I'm still beginning to think I need to contrast this more too. When I half close my eyes, I can't see 3 dimensions here. So I'm going to have to just go darker on this side. Take it down to that one there, behind the people, definitely, down into the ground here. I think that helps a lot. And consequently, blue on this side will help too. Just going to knock out a nice neutral colour here, purple colour, just to get this building. Yeah, that helps. Lamp black. I'm going to have some fun around the edge here. I might need to go on a thinner brush. I'm constantly changing brushes so that I can be more expressive with them. And on this side too. There is just a little bit of darkness there. And then a lot of darkness here. Right, put that in. Now I'm going to come back with this baby, stretch it out into the middle. Yeah. Okay, about some detail on these cars. Railing across the floor there. Oh, there's these lovely, I'll have to wait for that to dry. There are those little lights that the council put in all lovely. I'll put one this side. Draw in some of these bollards. Oh, I call them bollards, they're just pylons at the side that are reinforcing the side wall of the canal. They're not really anything. Scribble. Same with this, it's this tree that's reflecting that tree. And now that I look at it, I think I want to add a bit more depth to that tree too. For me, black has to be black. I'm not too happy if it loses its intensity. I like it to stay strong. Let's wipe that out. Okay, I'm going to strengthen this building over here. I think it's dry enough to do that. And blue-brown. That's a really burnt umber coming down like that. And then wet the brush. Playing around with the edge there to see what happens when I take the tape off. And on the other side, I have to go darker too for some of those window shapes. Underneath the awnings. Oh, this one had the windows there too, the front. Sorry, a bit rough there. Okay. Reaching around under the camera, so it's a little bit, that's my excuse anyway. Can't quite work out what's happening. It doesn't matter. That needs to be black. That needs to be much darker in there. Nice. So I might make that. Okay, a couple of stripes. I want to do all those windows dark there. Okay. I'm just going to have a little bit of fun with the tree. Take a little bit of detail. Play around with that. And then drop some yellow into it. On the whole, I try and get away with, put some green down here to make that reflect in the water. I try and get away with not using white, but I very rarely do, nearly always have to. And this one's not going to be much of an exception. Might just bring that greenery down a little bit too. Some of it needs to be a bit further down here, tied in. And while I've got it here, I'll touch it over here just so that we know that this has also got green leaves happening. Okay, I'll just grab a little bit of white and see what fun I can have. It's usually the windows that need it for me. I'm a bit of a window person when it comes to highlight from the sun. And any windows that I might not have, bothered to work on can always benefit from. I think they're still a bit wet, so I won't touch those yet. I'll take a bit of white onto the top of the cars. On their bonnets. Oh, the bikes, that's right. There were some bikes that had silver and various other bits involved. That's good. Not quite sure about the highlights here on the, I think that's kind of okay. Because I put a bit of light on the back of the guy sitting there. And put a bit of light around the people. Just on the sunny side. He's got a white helmet on, I know that. Now, just bring that out to a point and bring that out to a point. Don't know if it'll work, but it might be good. Now these buildings all have white. What do you call that surround of the window? Anyway. Yep, just having a bit of fun. Now this one here is a little bit awkward because I think I have to I'll get a bit of water on my brush. It's more like reflection on the glass from across the road. I'll put down that this car here under the man sitting in front of. Some beautiful glossy parts there on his wheel tyre. Ah, yeah. I wasn't sure whether I'd put a nice little white line around this. Sometimes it just helps. A dull green edge. Just a little bit here and there. That's still got moisture there, but I'll just put that there. Do I need water? The water to be, oops, sorry, just bending down. Do I need white in the water? Let's have a look and see what it looks like. Doesn't hurt. It's mainly over on that side. Okay. I think I'll leave it at that for this particular painting. I hope you guys can take it further. If you wanted to do slightly more detailed drawing and be not quite so, what's the word, loose, feel free. Or you'd like to take it even looser, that would be fun. Oops, there's my rough old signature. Okay. Of course, always improves without the tape to give it a sharp edge. Okay. Oh, do be careful. That's just beginning to peel off the paper itself. That's what doesn't happen if you're using arches, to tell you the truth. That's the sort of reason why you go for the expensive paper. Simple errors like that where you're peeling off tape and it takes the surface and tears into your painting. Very frustrating. That's happened to me once or twice. Okay. Great, I'm happy with that. One or two things I'd like to point out that are success that I look for when I'm doing these paintings. I might have said it during the film, but the video, but oops, hang on, I'll leave that there. Actually, I'll leave it sticking on here so I can pick it up. I like the blacks to get black. I like the pales to be pale, white, black, and all the tones in between. So half close your eyes and you can see a variety. And now that I half close my eyes, I can see I've got still something to do here that might be necessary. Just get a bit of grey-green on my brush, and I'm going to very carefully bring that round like that. There. I think without that it might not have worked. Made a mess up the top here because I can't see what the buildings are. Given more time, I could do some research and find out. While I'm chatting, I'll just clean this side up, these outside edges. This slippery timber is very good. It's some sort of a Bunnings special for cupboards, I think. Anyway, now I can't really tell sometimes if a painting's any good until I stand back. I'm happy with it at the moment. It's got the wobble that I wanted, the wonkiness. So anyway, be interested to hear what you guys think, and I look forward to hearing if any of you try this particular picture. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. That's the painting, and I don't know if you can see it properly. Anyway, I'll put it up in the video, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you with the next one. Bye now.